pill will allow people to teleport to tomorrow. Roy took one out, put it in his mouth, and swallowed it. The next second, he appeared on the street. He had actually traveled to the next day. Taking out his phone to check, it was 24 hours later. With the pills, Roy goes to the video shop where he works part-time. The night shift employee can't make it tonight. Roy offers to cover the shift. He has the little time travel pills. Roy takes out another little pill, putting them in his mouth and swallowing them. As the pill took effect, he travels to the next evening. He didn't feel tired at all. The night staff came to work, thanking him profusely. Back at home, his girlfriend complains about Roy's lack of work all day, doing meaningless script writing. Roy looks at his calendar. His entry is up next week. He can't wait any longer, pulling out the little pills. This time Roy took off 3 of them. Roy is desperate to see the results, swallowing the pills. Roy quickly completed the crossing, still in the room. It was the day of the draw. He rummages through the bin for the results, and to his surprise, he's lost. His dreams are instantly shattered by 3 pills. The defeat was devastating for him, and his colleagues are talking behind his back that he was a complete loser. Roy didn't want to face this, so he took the pills out again. Let the bad days be over. He went to the interview. The interviewer called Roy's name, being afraid to face the cranky interviewer, so he took another pill. Crossing back home, Roy gets the call. The interview didn't go through. It's been a few times now. Roy was so upset. He was a complete failure. His girlfriend is disappointed with his state. Roy wanted to get over his low point as soon as possible. Took out his little pill. There was only one left. He swallows it without hesitation. The little pill ran out. Roy went to the doctor who had prescribed it. The doctor said he would not be given this medicine again. Taking too much of it, it would have side effects on his body. While the doctor was called out, Roy rummaged through the cupboard. He found the same pills he had before. He snuck away with a large pile. There was enough medicine to last Roy for a while. Just back on his doorstep, he found his girlfriend dragging her bags and planning to leave. Roy tried his best to keep her away, but she said, "I can't see a future with you. You're always running away from reality. I might as well go back home and work." Roy had nothing to say. Now his girlfriend had left him too. Life couldn't be any worse than it is now. Roy took 2 tablets straight away. He still believes the future would naturally get better. One by one, he puts the pills in his mouth until he had taken the whole lot. The pills reacted quickly in his body. The next second, when Roy opened his eyes again, he found himself in an unfamiliar environment. It was a large house. The room was clean. Was it finally time for a good life? He looked at the mirror behind him. Oh my God, Roy could hardly recognize himself. He had aged so much at once. The hair at his temples was slightly grayer. How many days had passed this time? No. How many years? Roy looks at the calendar. It was 2033. In a flash, 10 years have passed. Roy panics. He remembered what the doctor had said. Never take too much at once. What had happened in those 10 years? That's when the door to the house opened. A little girl came in, but he didn't know her at all. Roy pretended to be calm and retreated to his room. The little girl followed him. She could see Roy's panic and said, "Daddy, are you all right?" Could this be his daughter? Roy was having a hard time accepting this. He saw the family photo on the table. It really was his daughter. So he was married to his girlfriend after all. That's good news after all. He asked his daughter why her mother wasn't home. His daughter looked at him with a surprised look on her face. Friend died 3 years ago. Died of an acute illness. Roy's heart was once again shattered. He asked his daughter to take him to the cemetery. He never expected to see her again. It's like this. Roy tries his best to adapt to his life now, taking care of his daughter every day, taking his daughter to school. At the same time, he keeps looking around the house for traces of his life over the last 10 years. He finds a trophy in a box, the playwriting competition that he had been thinking about for so long. He had finally won the prize. His dream had come true, but his heart was still empty. He couldn't wait to see his work. Turning on the player, spinning around and around. The image of his girlfriend appears on the screen, so she's the lead actress in the film. Looking at his girlfriend, who was still young, Roy couldn't contain himself. He was desperately trying to remember what had happened in the last 10 years, but after a long time of thinking, he still couldn't remember anything. Roy was left with tears of regret. The film was finished. His eyes suddenly went black when Roy came to his senses again, to find himself in a hospital recliner. The doctor said that the future experience this drug has given you, it must have left something in your heart. Oh my God, it was just a dream. Roy came home to find his girlfriend still sitting in the room, both of them looking young. Roy said, "Let's talk, plan our future." His girlfriend happily says yes. What a dream. It woke up Roy, who had been in a daze. He was no longer running away from reality. Even if he failed over and over again, it's only meaningful if you've experienced it.